I don't think anyone here is going to need a super in-depth intro into what Walmart does. A few companies I cover on this channel are maybe more niche. Maybe someone's never heard of it. Walmart, I mean, I don't know if anyone hasn't heard of Walmart. Certainly in the United States, maybe you're not from here, but even then, gosh, who hasn't heard of Walmart? So we all know what Walmart does, right? Over the last 5 years, they've done pretty well. They've about performed what the S&P 500 has. Maybe slightly better, but they paid a slightly smaller dividend over that period as well. At least they are right now. It's roughly the same, right? S&P is about 1.5. They're about 1, but so we can assume it's about the same. Their PE is 42, and their forward PE is 31. So that's pretty 33. That's pretty good, right? But it is still significantly above the S&P 500 average. I mean, I know some companies are going to demand higher PE shares. They grow more, although this one hasn't necessarily been growing like way more than the S&P 500 is. I mean, they've about matched it, right? So at least over the last 5 years, let's take a look at the 10-year chart. That's not the correct 10-year chart, Yahoo. So the 10-year chart, they've 3x'd. Yeah, so they're almost exactly the S&P 500 again over the 10 years as well, because the S&P 500's gone up about 3 times as well. They've done a little bit better than that. So they've done a little bit better than the S&P 500 average over the last decade. For P's higher. So Walmart, I don't have any super strong opinions on Walmart. I personally don't own it. I probably wouldn't be itching to buy it, right? If I had $10 million, you just gave it to me, would I buy Walmart? There's a decent chance, right? I probably would consider it. Would I own it eventually? Almost absolutely. But at today's price, right, it's not screaming by to me. Now, if you like Walmart, if you like this sort of space, if you want diversification into this area, maybe you don't own any huge chains, retail chains or anything like that, this isn't a terrible pick, right? Certainly for a long-term hold, Walmart is going to do fine. However, I don't look at a company that currently is significantly overvalued compared to the S&P 500, maybe 20, 30%. Doing mental math, right? The S&P 500 average is about 27. So I don't look at this, actually more, it's probably closer to 30 or 40. I don't look at this and say, oh yeah, this is screaming buy right now, right? I look at something like Caterpillar, right, which has doubled the S&P 500 performance and is 50% discount in terms of PE. Now, yeah, it's not growing as much in terms of next year, and lots of forward earnings are what it's looking at. I guarantee if this was 38 and not 33, the price would probably not be this high. So it would actually be closer to 33. But usually when there's a significant growth in the future, like what we're looking at here, you're going to have that disparity in price. They pay a decent dividend, right? And if this stock was, at S&P 500 levels, it would look even better, but it's increasing. It's probably going to keep increasing. Like I said, long-term hold, Walmart is probably pretty good, right? They're huge. They're dominant. I do all my shopping at Walmart, right? That's what I grew up with. I grew up in kind of a rural area. That's what I got used to. That's just, I'm used to the Walmart brands. They're everywhere. I mean, they're a huge, huge company, right? So if this is one you're looking at, you're like, I just want to buy Walmart. I want diversification into here. I want to get a decent dividend. And over the long 5 to 10 years, it's going to do fine. I'd say awesome, right? If you're looking at Walmart being like, oh yeah, this is undervalued, and in 3 years it's going to correct, and I don't necessarily see that, right? And so much can happen in the retail space. It's just, it's tough. But they have been doing really good online too. Clearly Amazon has been the number one dominant one, but Walmart has, from what I've heard, I don't use it, but from what I've heard, they've been doing pretty good online as well. So, risks. I mean, I don't see any huge risks for that too. It's pretty safe, right? If I guess the one thing is if there's a recession or something like that, at PE levels of this, you'll probably see a steep fall off, but you're probably going to see that in most companies anyways. Other than that, risks, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, it's stable. It's huge. They're everywhere. People are going to need groceries, right? No matter what happens, people are going to need food. We aren't going to like phase out food in the next 30 years, right? So, and they, even if food, there wasn't great profit margins on that, they have other areas, and they sell basically everything in Walmart, right? So I'm really not too worried about it there. It's a stable company, right? You're not going to see like the bottom fall out. I don't think so. You know, I think it's a really safe. I think it's a good diversification pick. It's good for safety. It's good, for all that stuff, and it's probably going to perform well. It'll probably perform roughly the same as the S&P 500. So I like Walmart. I think it's a fine pick, but I'm personally not itching to buy it. There's some decent ones. I find Kroger intriguing. I mean, you can get Kroger, right now for significantly under, like you could get it for 60% the value of Walmart. And clearly Kroger is not as dominant as Walmart, but it's not like a terrible pick. So yeah, there's a lot of safety in this brand, There just is. Percentile ranking, Schwab thinks it's going to do below average. I probably don't differ too far from that. Although, 70%, that looks terrible, right? Bottom 70 percentile. You're still probably projecting growth over the next year in that. 1 star, wide, I agree. They have a great moat, right? In their space, right? Other than Amazon, right? Amazon and Target, that's their competition. I give them a 7 or an 8 just because they're bloody everywhere, right? Costco as well, too. Target's that much lower? Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can get... Yeah, I was talking about Kroger. P 14, right? P 16. Costco's more, but they're, they've growth has been good. I don't even know what that is. So, alimentation. I don't even know. So, yeah, Walmart's fine. It's Walmart, right? It's gonna do fine. It's gonna do good. Even, is it like an undervalued stock? I don't particularly think so, but I think you'll do. I think it's okay. I think it's a fine pick, right? Of course, do your research, that sort of thing. That's my personal opinion on Walmart. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe, that sort of thing. It helps out the channel a lot. So anyways, I appreciate all you guys watching, and I'll catch you next time. See you.